Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Our new topic is holding company. When we talk about holding companies, so it was actually derived from two words, that is holding and companies. First of all, when we talk about companies, so companies are actually formed in order to gain profit. And when we talk about companies, so we are talking about corporate company, or the company which are listed on stock exchange. So these companies are formed because they want to operate and they want to manufacture, or they want to provide certain services to the community. And these are the operating companies. But the holding companies is different from operating company, because these operating companies are there. And when any company wants to acquire authority over, or you can say have a they want to have a hold on the operating company, that is called as a holding company. Because there are certain times there are companies who want to acquire the major aspect of that company, or who want to have a hold, or on a authority on that company. So in order to do that, there are certain procedures through which the company can have hold on to the other company operations and other operating companies. We will discuss those options in the next slides. First of all, we will discuss what is holding company. A holding company is a legal entity having a controlling interest in one or more companies. That means that this is actually not an operating company, but they have a controlling interest in the other company, who is actually the operating company. So the company who has an controlling interest of the the other company is called as a holding company. And to whom on the company which they are holding, or they have controlled their interest, is called as their subsidiary. The primary function of the holding company is to own shares in other corporations. That means that they acquire more than 50% shares, or more than that shares of that company. And once you have taken the shares of that company, you have voting rights, you have many other rights which be actually quite helpful in controlling the other company. So in the general company, the parent company has no wholly owned operating units. So the segment owned by the holding company are separate legal entity, which in practice are controlled by the holding company. So obviously those segments which are being owned by the holding company, they have taken shares or purchased share of that portion. So obviously it's a legal separate entity, and these actually separate a legal entity is called as a holding company. What is the purpose of a holding company, or what are the advantages of holding company? The main advantage of the holding company is that it will help to gain effective control on other companies' asset at a lower overall cost, because you don't have to acquire 100% of the target's outstanding shares. Because if you have to in acquisition, you have to purchase almost 100% of the shares of the other company. But in the case of holding company, you don't have to acquire 100% shares of the target's outstanding shares. But in order to gain effective control, it is achieved by acquiring less than 100%, but usually more than 50% of other companies a firm's equity. So once you acquire these equity more than 50%, so you have a controlling interest in that company. And you can influence the major decisions of that company. This is the major advantage. And obviously when you are holding company, the structure, they can be actually leverage your performance, and your performance is being achieved more effectively as compared to the other type of organizations. Now in the holding company, how can a firm achieve control? So it's very important that when you have a holding company, so they have an effective control when control they have achieved that control with the help of purchasing the shares or shares with voting rights, and because it's likely to not be likely not no, not likely to be temporary. There are no legal restriction on control, as far as when we see the bank corruption control corruption code, and there are no power of minority shareholders. There are majorly four types of holding companies. One is your pure holding company, and actually a pure holding company is a holding company which is formed for the sole purpose of owning share in other companies, especially the companies that does not participate in any other business other than controlling one or more firms. Secondly, we have mixed holding companies. Mixed holding companies not only controls another firm, but also engage in its operation. It is also known as holding operating companies. And an operating company that take part in completely unrelated line of businesses from their subsidiaries are referred to as conglomerates. Now, obviously, we have discussed conglomerate. So the if you are indulged in different unrelated businesses, so that business is called as conglomerates. The third type of holding company is your immediate company. Immediate company holding company is one that retains voting stocks or controls of other company in spite of the fact that the company itself is already controlled by another company. For example, it's a type of holding company that is already a subsidiary of another. Then fourth one is your intermediate holding company. So intermediate holding company or firm is that actually is both a holding company of another entity and a subsidiary of a larger corporation. So intermediate holding firm might be exempted from publishing financial record as a holding company of the smaller group. Benefits of holding company. First of all, greater control for a small investment, so because it gives the holding company owner of a controlling interest in another company without having to invest much more capital. And as when the parent company purchases 51% or more of the subsidiary, it automatically gains control of the acquired firm. By not purchasing 100% of each subsidiary, a small business owner gains control of multiple entities using a very small investment. So you can say that in lesser investment, the greater control or greater power can be achieved in the form of holding company. Second thing is your independent entities. If you are a holding company, exercise control over several companies. Each of subsidiary is concerned an independent legal entity. This means that if one of the subsidiary were to face a lawsuit, the plaintiffs have no right to claim the assets of the other subsidiary. In fact, if the subsidiary being sued acted independently, then it's highly unlikely that the parent company will be held liable. Third is management continuity. Whenever a parent company acquires other subsidiaries, it almost always retain the management. This is an important factor for many owners of the subsidiary who are deciding whether to agree to the acquisition or not. The holding company firm can choose not to be involved in the activities of the subsidiary except when it comes to strategic decision and monitoring the subsidiary performance. That means that the manager of the subsidiary firm retains their previous roles and continue conducting business as usual. On the other hand, the holding company owner benefit financially without necessarily adding to its management duties. Fourth thing is your tax effect. Holding companies that own 80% or more of every subsidiary can reap tax benefit by filing consolidated tax return. A consolidated tax return is one that combines the financial records of the acquired firms together of the parent companies. In such a case, one of the subsidiary counters losses, they will be offset by the profits of the other subsidiary. In addition, the net effect of filing a consolidated return is a reduced tax liability. Now we will discuss disadvantages of holding company. First of all, it might be possible that there would be fraudulent manipulation of the accounts, because your control of your company is in the hand of the other company. So it might be possible that they can manipulate your accounts. And another thing is that intercompany transaction may not be at fair prices, because they have a considerable influence of the holding company. So the intercompany transaction can be done at a certain concessional prices, or not at the fair price. And minority shareholders' interests may not be properly protected, because the major shareholders are there and they are governing the firm. The accounts of various companies may be made upon different dates to manipulate profits or financial position of the group companies, or the shareholders in the holding company may not be aware of the true financial position of the subsidiary company, and creditor and outside shareholders in the subsidiary company may not be aware of the true financial position of the subsidiary companies, because the holding company is there and they are controlling all the activities. So it might be possible that they will not let let the true picture of the financial position of the subsidiary company be visible to creditors or any other outside shareholders. Or the subsidiary companies may be forced to appoint persons of the choice of holding company, such as auditor, director, and other officer at in the duly high remuneration, because they have control over different activities, so they can influence in different ways on the organization activities. And the appointment of these people, because auditors obviously have are actually performed a very important work, and other directors at any other field, their position are very important. So actually, not only they are being given, they can appoint those people according to their will, but they can convince or force the subsidiary company to give them remuneration of their choice. So, or the subsidiary company may be forced for purchase or sale of good of certain assets. For example, if they have the holding companies any friend, or you can say that they want certain assets to be purchased, or they want to give benefit to any other particular company, so they can force subsidiary company to purchase or sale of certain good to certain specific person at the will of the will of the holding company. So that means that if the holding company is there, so they have a certain manipulation, and they can hinder many important aspects of the subsidiary company. So these are different disadvantages associated with holding companies. In the last slide, we have discussed different advantages associated with the holding company, but the holding company not only provide you certain benefit, but it has significant tax problem for its shareholder, as subsidiary of holding companies pay taxes on their operating profit. The holding company then pays taxes on dividends they receive from their subsidiary. Finally, holding company shareholders pay taxes on dividends they receive from the holding company. This is equivalent to triple taxation of the subsidiary operating earning. So this is the actual main problem associated with the holding companies, that the multiple taxation would be applied. Therefore, it create problem and create a tax liability.